So I'm Denise Cumming. I'm the Executive Director of University Hospitals Kingston Foundation, and it is absolutely my pleasure to welcome all of you to our 7th annual University Hospitals Kingston Foundation Community Celebration. I look forward so much every year to this event because it feels like a gathering of family. As I look across the room, I can see all kinds of people that I have met in the course of my work who have been great champions for our hospitals, wonderful supporters, and really fun people. So it's so nice to have all of you gathered here. This is the time of year when we gather to report back to you about all the things that we've been able to accomplish with your support through the year, to highlight some of the wonderful community members who have been active on behalf of our hospitals, and to let you know a little bit about some of the things that are ahead in the year. Because of you, we've had a remarkable year. We've had all kinds of openings of facilities at Kingston General Hospital and Hotel Dieu Hospital. We have received regular updates of things moving forward with our new Providence Care Hospital. We've seen equipment purchased. We've seen staff from the hospitals sent out on educational opportunities. And we've seen research advancements, and this has all been because of you. 2012-13 was a fantastic year for the foundation. We received, again, a record number of donations, including several estate gifts and pledge payments from the Together We Can campaign. And in all, we saw $13.6 million come in to support our hospitals. So thank you, all of you. I think that all of you were provided with one of these lovely brochures when you came in, and you'll see on page 4 of the community report book that there's some information about how your gifts were put to use. Our financial statements are still pending approval from our board at our board meeting Thursday, but will be added to our website, which is at UHKF and available for all of you after the board has approval. We've also made available to you today a print listing of our donors who've made gifts at levels that qualify for recognition on our cumulative donor recognition walls in our hospitals, and a listing of our 2012 Foundation Society members. Speaking of walls and change, this is a nice segue into the next portion of the proceedings this afternoon's proceedings. At this time, I would like to invite Dale Kenny, who is President and Chief Executive Officer of Providence Care, to bring an update from Providence Care. Dale.
Thank you very much, Denise, and it's a real pleasure to be here this afternoon celebrating with friends and supporters of the Kingston Hospital. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on where we are with our new Providence Care Hospital. This was part of the major campaign, the Together We Can campaign that ended a few years ago, and we've been busy the last year doing the planning for the new hospital. Just to remind you, the new hospital will combine the services of the St. Mary's of the Lake Hospital and the Mental Health Services site into a brand new hospital that will be located out at our Mental Health Services site, which is the former Kingston Psychiatric Hospital, only closer to the water. So we've got a terrific site, and the 3 proponents who've been selected to bid on the project have nothing but very positive comments. They believe that we probably have the best building site for a new hospital in the province of Ontario. So the last year has been very busy. We've been working with, there were 3 proponents that were selected to bid on the project, and they were Integrated Team Solutions, which is a company that is the construction company associated with them is Ellis Don, who are well known in Ontario and in Canada. Plenary Group, which is anchored by PCL Contractors, again a large construction company across Canada and the United States, and a company called Providence Alliance for Caring Environments, which is Carillion Construction, and they've actually partnered with Sullivan & Sons, a local construction company here in town. So these, we've been meeting with these 3 proponents over the last year and doing all sorts of, giving them all sorts of feedback on design, etc. And we expect the bids will be in the end of this month. So we'll be reviewing the bids. Their final design presentations on the new hospital will be made in the first week of July, and we hope to actually select a preferred proponent at the end of September, and we'll be working during October and November on a contract, and hopefully sign a contract with the preferred proponent come November the 25th. And I understand once we sign the contract, they'll be on site the next day, starting not construction, but certainly putting up hoarding and construction roads, etc. So a very exciting time for us. We've been working with our staff and our patients and clients and their families to really look at what the new Providence Care Hospital should look like. We're really excited. It's really going to take advantage of the natural environment at next to Lake Ontario Park and making use of the views and the natural light, etc. So we're very excited about that, and it's been a long time in the coming. I've been probably working on this project for the last 15 years, and it has been for the people in this room and the generous supporters of the Together We Think campaign. We would not be going forward with this. The government looks to construction projects to have your money in the bank or committed, and that was one of the main reasons that we were able to move forward with this project, which I think is one of 3 hospital projects that are going forward in the province at the current time. So very fortunate, and all attributed to the great donations and the support that we had from the people. So thank you very much for that. The last thing I want to talk about is the future and Providence Manor. We operate, Providence Care operates a 243-bed long-term care facility on 7th Street called Providence Manor. Some of you may be familiar with that. It's actually one of the top-rated long-term care homes in the province, and we really have a reputation for delivering quality and compassionate care. The current building has a number of challenges, and we're looking actually at redeveloping Providence Manor. It's a bit of a history with Providence Manor. It is on the site of where the sisters came to Kingston in 1861 and started their mission here. But unfortunately, due to the constraints of the site, we're probably looking at having to reconstruct Providence Manor elsewhere. So that's it's exciting. We're looking at again, we'll be going to the community to raise a community portion for that in the near future. We're looking at trying to engage the Ministry of Health to actually develop Providence Center somewhere probably in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's not something that's going to happen immediately, but certainly exciting news for Providence Care and also for the residents that live in Providence Care. So another great project. Going to be engaging University Hospitals Kingston Foundation around that, along with the Hotel View and some of the major projects going forward that I'm sure Leslie and David will talk to you about. But again, I just would really like to thank the people in this room. As I said, you really need the money in the bank in order to engage the government in moving ahead with any capital project. And if it wasn't for the generosity of the people that live in the city of Kingston and the region and the people in this room, it would actually not happen. So again, on behalf of our clients and our patients and our residents, and I want to thank you and thank you for helping Providence Care carrying on its mission of enhancing the quality of life for people and carrying on the legacy of the Sisters of Providence. So thank you.
One of the great pleasures that I have in my role as executive director is that I get to work with our 3 hospital CEOs who not only carry out the very, very busy responsibilities of the jobs that they have, but are very active members on our board of directors. And I wanted to just take a moment to let you know, you may have heard that Dale Kenny has actually let us know he's going to be retiring in December. He has been a phenomenal contributor to the Vision for University Hospitals Kingston Foundation and to our work as an organization and to our board. And I would just ask if you would join me in thanking him, because this is likely the last community celebration where he'll officially be representing the hospitals. My pleasure to invite another one of our remarkable Chief Executive Officers, Dr. David Pecora, to come up. He's going to tell you a little bit about what's going on at the Hospital. Over to you, David.
Well, thanks, Denise, and good afternoon. It's great to see you all here and to thank you for your support. We all echo Dale's comments that without local community support from donors like all of you in the room today, none of this would be possible. The building projects that we're just in the process of completing and those that we're just starting and planning for the future all hinge on community support. And without that, the Ministry of Health can't put in their provincial share, which is a substantial component as well. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about what our role is at Hotel Dieu Hospital as an academic ambulatory hospital. It's a slightly different and somewhat newer model of hospital care in the province, and it's an exciting role for us now and for the future. And I want to give you a bit of an update, as Dale did, in terms of some of the projects that we've recently completed and are getting started on. So, ambulatory hospitals provide scheduled patient care encounters, typically clinic visits or visits to a diagnostic or a procedural area where you'll have a scheduled or elective procedure completed. And increasingly, though, we're building on program-based models, such as our new bariatric program, congestive heart failure, cardiac rehabilitation, breast assessment, diabetes, and pre-surgical screening programs, where you'll have a multidisciplinary and interprofessional approach to planning and providing care to people in a really efficient and patient-friendly way. We also have an urgent care center, and we provide care for patients with urgent problems and less critical emergencies. In our very busy urgent care center, we see over 40,000 visits a year there, and it's a complement to the emergency care that's provided at KGH. We also have a busy day and short stay surgery program with a high volume of day surgery cases and a bright outlook for the future in that area as well. And like the other two hospitals, Hotel Dieu, as a faith-based organization, also has an important academic role for learning and teaching as an important partner for the university and for St. Lawrence College and other institutions around the province. And I'd like to take a few minutes to thank you for the work that you've done to help us with our major projects that have been going on recently. As many of you know, we've just completed a $20 million project to redevelop a lot of space in the hospital and move over most of the specialized ambulatory clinics to Hotel Dieu now. We've opened about 36,000 square feet, 40 clinic rooms, 4 procedure suites that will support programs in medicine and surgical disciplines. We've just opened a new cystoscopy suite for day surgery cystoscopy programs in our urology department, and opened a brand new pulmonary function lab to support the respirology program that looks after folks with chronic lung diseases. And it's all in a very bright, new, modern facility with a great view of downtown and the waterfront. So I know people have enjoyed the venue and the exciting options that we're providing there. We're also in the process of finishing some upgrades to our endoscopy suite, where people get their upper endoscopies and colonoscopies to provide safer, better quality, and more efficient care for endoscopy. And perhaps exciting to people who've got eye diseases and who get a chance to spend some time, a fair bit of time in our waiting room. We're just in the process of opening on July 10th an expansion on the 6th floor for our eye clinic with 5 new procedure lanes to support patients with cataracts, glaucoma, various retinal diseases. As many of you know, it's a busy place. We see over 70,000 visits a year just in the ophthalmology program alone, and it's literally been bursting at the seams. So it's great to see that facility about to open, and it was 100% funded by donors from the community. So thanks to all of you for making that possible. Over the next few weeks, we'll be finalizing some of our plans for the next round of redevelopment. We've got needs to modernize and expand our ear, nose, and throat program, our operating rooms, our radiology area, and urgent care centers. So we'll be doing the planning for those projects and considering other options too as we look forward to the future. So again, it's exciting days at Hotel Dieu Hospital, just like our other 2 partner hospitals in town. And thanks to all of you for your support.
One of the opportunities I have in my role is to attend some of the meetings of the boards of the hospitals, and my favorite part of the Hotel Dieu board meetings is when Dr. Pecora talks about the future of ambulatory care. It's going to be very exciting to see how Hotel Dieu embraces that particular niche of the continuum of care and figures out new and exciting ways to deliver care to all of us in our homes and out in the community. So thank you so much for taking time to share. The other really exciting thing I like to do is hear Leslie Thompson talk about patient and family-centered care, which I've had a few opportunities to of late. So I won't get into Leslie's speech, but I would invite Leslie as the CEO of Kingston General Hospital to come up and tell you a little bit about what's going on at KGH.
Thank you very much. It is just such a pleasure to see so many of you here today, and the support, also the chance to say thank you personally and on behalf of all of us at KGH. And really, once you combine the staff, the volunteers, the physicians, and the students, there are 7,000 people that are part of the organization that are working each and every day to bring the aims that we collectively have as outstanding care always to life. And our focus over the past 4 years really has been around evolving the hospital in a way that is truly transforming the patient-family experience. We can't do that in isolation, and the partnerships that we have with both Hotel Dieu and Providence are key, in addition to being part of an entire region and a system of integrated care, because none of us in Kingston live in isolation of the full regional plan and at the provincial level. So the things that we're focusing on to ensure that the patient experience is as good as it can be. Our roles within the region around complex, acute, and specialty care encompasses many of the regional programs, the leadership that we have been given to around stroke care, trauma care, the neurosciences, the cardiac sciences, and all of these pieces together. And the cancer program is so key because the mandate is not only the leadership within the organization, of which, like Hotel Dieu, we've got a very specialized ambulatory program that is driving really a lot of the very new and innovative ways of delivering cancer care right across the region. We're excited to be part of those, playing a leadership role and help working with a variety of others to support those. One of the decisions that we made early on, when I arrived 4.5 years ago now, is that the path forward would be one in which we committed to partner with patients and families in order to deliver on the future aspirations of the organization and to make improvements. Because as many of you know, we've had a lot of improvements to make. And some of the path forward has been a real challenging one. But because of the commitment to move from a philosophy that is doing for patients and doing to patients to actually doing with, partnering in some new and exciting ways, we're learning a whole new way of being. That I think the feedback that we're having from patients from our community is really starting to come to life in some pretty exciting ways. From a sheer performance basis, over the past year, we've got a lot of celebration that we are doing. Not only do we continue to balance the books, we're continuing to invest in capital, which is helping to staff have the tools that they need to be doing the work that they're doing. We started with $3 million a year for capital equipment investment, and this year we're at almost $15 million a year, as well as balancing the operating budget, as well as achieving our clinical efficiency targets, our other operational performance targets. So we're really moving ahead on those, and we won awards. This year, 7 major awards KGH has received by national and international organizations that are honoring the progress that we've made and the performance that the organization, and that's the 7,000 people, of how they've risen to the occasion and achieved the first Canadian hospital ever to be recognized through an organization called NRC Picker for an international award around patient and family-centered care. Accreditation, 99% we got on the scores of meeting over 2,000 standards. And what's remarkable about that is 3 years ago, we got accreditation with multiple conditions. Then we skipped 2 levels over the past 3 years and came up in terms of strong performance. Research awards and other key awards that we're really proud of. And as I was presenting to staff today, we were having town halls as we present, and I hope you picked up at KGH this year. I think Helen, they were at the back, and tells you a lot more about what we're doing. The neat thing we've tried to do is put all the performance metrics of the organization tied to the patient journey. And so you can see as you read where in the patient journey wait times are coming down, where a variety of performance of the organization is up, and where we're focusing on the future. We still have some work to do around waiting times for admitted patients in our emergency and others, but the team, I can assure you, is so dedicated to making every improvement possible. And I really want to thank you as we are enjoying the benefit of the phenomenal facilities that you have helped support. We are getting ready. We've submitted to government for plans for KGH Phase 2 redevelopment, which will encompass brand new emergency department, labor and delivery, neonatal intensive care unit, laboratories, and operating rooms, all to modernize the hospital and to be able to fulfill its role within the region. And we're very excited about that. It's daunting for all of us, and we are going to continue to count on you and look forward to working with you to support the ongoing future in partnership with our colleagues at Providence and Hotel View to make sure that together we are providing you seamless and absolutely superb system of care. And so thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure to be able to update you on all that's happening at KGH.
So at this point in the program, we're going to do one of the favorite things of mine each year, which is to acknowledge some remarkable contributors to the success of our foundation and our hospitals. And I would just like Leslie Thompson to present the Ian Wilson Award. So over to you again, Leslie.
Thank you very much. The Ian Wilson Award is a really special award that is granted annually by UHKF on behalf of all three of Kingston Hospital's foundations to individuals who have demonstrated outstanding volunteer efforts in the solicitation of donations benefiting our hospitals through an event, organized campaign, or informal activity. This award, the Ian Wilson Award, honors those who, much like our much-loved Together We Can campaign chair, Ian Wilson. Ian, today? Oh, okay. He's here in spirit. Vacationing. That sounds awfully nice, doesn't it? But you can almost hear his voice when he's not here of championing everything about the Together We Can campaign. And the standard that he set to set around others who can set themselves apart by their incredible commitment, their underlying enthusiasm, and the sheer number of hours they devote to their volunteer roles on behalf of UHKF and the hospitals. Any volunteer, hospital staff member, hospital board or committee member, or third-party event organizer may be nominated. Nominations are accepted from anyone within the hospital community. I'm going to tell you about the criteria about how winners are selected. They're based on their demonstrated alignment with the following qualities characterized by Ian Wilson throughout his volunteer tenure with the hospitals: an unwavering positive attitude, exemplary financial support within personal needs, clear commitment to supporting the hospitals in our community, obvious enthusiasm for hospital fundraising, tangible, positive results of volunteer efforts, good humor, determination, and the ability to convey empathy and compassion for patients and their families. And above all, fantastic attitude and commitment. It is truly an honor for me to announce the recipient of the 2013 Ian Wilson Award. We have drum rolls. There we go. Drum roll. Richard Hizzle. Before we do the actual presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Richard. Thousands of lives have been touched with the dedicated actions of Richard Kizzle as a volunteer. He has supported Kingston Hospital since 1987 through his own significant personal philanthropy. He has given his time through service on the Foundation's board of Kingston Hospitals for 12 consecutive years, including 2 years as president of the Kingston General Hospital Foundation Board and 2 years as chair of the newly created UHKF board, for which he currently serves as a very active role on the executive committee as past chair. He is currently serving as co-chair of the Development Council for the Center of Patient-Oriented Research at KGH, a leadership fundraising role within UHKF with a goal of raising $3 million for the new core research facility at Kingston General Hospital. Richard Kizzle is a tireless volunteer who works energetically to support the charities that are close to his heart. Richard is a strong, public-spirited leader who demonstrates a passion for his community and is looked up to by many. He is humble about his volunteer efforts and works tirelessly to advance the achievements of his team. Kingston is truly a better place because of your work, Richard, which will continue for many years to come. We look forward to presenting you, we are now presenting you, with this, not the Richard Kizzle Award, the Ian Wilson Award to Richard Kizzle. Please join me in recognizing you.
Thank you very much, Leslie, for those kind words. I've enjoyed all the time volunteering with the hospitals, whether it be UHKF, KGH, working for Hotel Dieu and Province Care. We all use the hospitals. My family, your family, my friends, relatives, and it's truly an inspiring organization because we all use it and make it better for all of us. So I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the association with all the other volunteers, the staff. It's really been a lot of fun. Getting the Ian Wilson Award, Ian is just a giant, and he's done so much for the hospitals. In the last campaign, the Together We Can campaign, he really was outstanding. To receive the Ian Wilson Award for me is very humbling and very exciting. I just have to give one little anecdote, is that I did agree to help raising money for the new research center, and if you turn to page 6 in your books, you'll get to read about it. And so far, I think that my greatest accomplishment in that campaign is I got Ian Wilson to co-chair it. And Ian's not here tonight to hear those words, but I'm really, really honored to win the award and to continue to work with Ian. He is so dedicated and passionate towards the hospitals. It's inspiring to work with great people, so thank you very much.
Richard has been a remarkable member of our board. You know when you memorize somebody's number and their home number and their cell number and their email address, and they always respond within the hour, you've got yourself a winner and a board chair there. I did just want to take a moment to acknowledge our wonderful board of directors, a number of whom are with us here tonight. Aliyah Nagnostopoulos, our chair, Kathy Dunn, our vice chair, Colleen Loring, our secretary-treasurer, Richard, who you've heard is our past chair, Debbie Corcoran, Bill Dalton, Sean Geary, Bitu George, Dr. Shauna Johnson, Dale Kenny, Dan McWhirter, Pat McHugh, Bopaz Durka, Dave Pecora, Michael Robinson, and Leslie Thompson. Could you just join me in acknowledging and thanking them for all the hours they put in? It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Dave Pecora to come forward and present the first of the Davies Awards. And following that, Dale Kenny will present the second award, and then Aliyah, our chair, will announce the recipient of the final award for this year. But before we begin, I'd like to see if Eric Davies, come on up, could say a few words on behalf of the Davies family who established this award. Over to you, Eric.
Thank you, Denise. You see, I'm going to talk about the importance of time and what a scarce resource it is for many of us. It's so scarce I almost didn't make it here today in my true fashion. But thank you, Denise. My name's Eric Davies. I'm the second son of Michael and Elaine Davies, of their 5 children. And I'm here on behalf of the Davies Charitable Foundation today, on which I sit on that board. The Davies Charitable Foundation was founded in 1990, for those of you that don't know the background history, after my father sold the Whig Standard, after it had been in the family for 64 years. And he was concerned about a lack of funding in the Kingston community. The Whig Standard, under his leadership, was very generous to the Kingston community, as was the case with my grandfather and my great-grandfather before that, in regards to the arts, the hospitals, athletic endeavors, and education. So the Davies Foundation was formed in 1990, and of the broad mandate of those 4 prongs that make up the broad mandate of the Davies Foundation, healthcare is the one we're here to talk about today. And the Davies Foundation has been very ardent supporters of Kingston's hospitals, and more recently the University Hospital Kingston Foundation, a tradition dating back to my grandfather, Arthur, who served as chair of the KGH board, as did my father. So there's been a long family history there. I'm wondering where the arrow is pointing next. Back in 2005, to honor this legacy, the KGH, and also in unison with the KGH, the 25th anniversary of the KGH Foundation, the Davies Award for Philanthropic Leadership was founded, and the inaugural recipient was the late Judge William Henderson, who, as many of you know in the room, was here in Kingston. Over the past several years, the awards have traditionally been presented to 2 recipients, an outstanding individual and an outstanding organization. 2 years ago, an exciting new category was added, being an outstanding community group. Nomination for the awards come from Kingston's hospital community, made up of their staff, the board committee members, patients, volunteers, and donors. Winners are selected by the University Hospital Kingston Foundation's board. Award recipients are individuals or organizations who have demonstrated outstanding philanthropic leadership, benefiting our hospitals and ultimately the care of our families, friends, and communities. Now, on that note about time being scarce, most of us in this room experience this, that life is a constant balance and juggling act between our responsibilities towards our careers, our spouses, our children, if we have them, our loved ones. And then there's this little sliver of time left over at the end called our personal time, that we have left to ourselves to choose something that brings us joy and happiness and enjoyment. And today, I'd like to commend the recipients of the 3 Davies Awards, because they opt to take that time and use it for the greater good of the community, as opposed to being like most of us, taking that time for our own enjoyment. And that's a real sacrifice, that they take time away from their own loved ones, their own free time, to give back to the community, and that's what they're to be commended for today. So on that note, I'd like to hand the mic over to Dr. David Pecora to hand out the first of the 3 recipients for the Davies Award for Philanthropic Leadership. Thank you.
Indeed, a privilege and a pleasure to present the first of the 2013 Davies Awards to the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation of Quebec. The role of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation, or PCFF, and the Motorcycle Ride for Dad is to raise funds to save men's lives by supporting prostate cancer research and raising public awareness of the disease. The first ride was held in 2000 to honor the late Charlie Pester. His battle with prostate cancer served as an inspiration for others and has led to raising the national awareness for this disease. The first ride was held in Ottawa, and the fundraiser has since grown to include 30 cities across Canada. Last year, the PCFF granted more than $60,000 to local prostate cancer research, and this year they've donated over $62,000. To date, the local Kingston community chapter has donated over $450,000 via the PCFF to support local hospital researchers in their quest to find cures, better treatments for prostate cancer. The local Ride for Dad chapter is made up of a devoted and passionate group of volunteers who give countless hours of their time to raise funds for prostate cancer research via this annual ride, and they've been doing so for more than 10 years. It's not easy to organize a motorcycle ride with 700 cyclists touring through the cities and streets around Kingston and southeastern Ontario. Research and education are critical in the treatment of prostate cancer. Because of the dedication of volunteers, this Kingston Queen Motorcycle Ride for Dad researchers right here in Kingston are making positive differences in the lives of men and their families and across the region and beyond. So I'd now like to present the award to John McKinley-Key on behalf of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation and Rick McFarland and Trini Young on behalf of the Kingston Queen Ride for Dad.
Just as we're inviting John McKinley to take the podium and tell you a little bit about the program, I have to tell you, we love when we have the gift announcement with these folks every year. They all come in on their Harleys. You can hear them riding because the leathers going creak, creak, creak. And they hug everyone in sight. So they're just a fabulous group to work with. John, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much. We're very, very honored to receive this award. It's not possible to do what we do this committee is so dedicated. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
I've learned a lot since then. Raise your hand and let's sing.
So it's my honor to present the second Davies Award to a family that is well known and respected in our community. This year will mark the 33rd year, and I know this for a fact because I received the invitation today, that the Mello family has been organizing a golf tournament. They started in 1980 just for fun and friendship, and then in 1992, the family started donating the proceeds to United Way in memory of Liz Doyle, who had been working with the family for over 30 years and was like a second mom to the girls in the family. In 2006, another dear friend, George Tevis, passed away, and they decided to split the proceeds between the United Way and the University Hospitals Kingston Foundation. To date, the tournament has donated over $102,000 to the University Hospitals Kingston Foundation. The funds raised have been directed to all three hospitals to use where needed most. They supported leukemia research, the redevelopment of the Cancer Center, and children's programs at Kingston General Hospital and Hotel New Hospital. The Mello family is supportive of all University Hospitals Kingston Foundation fundraising events, making gift-in-kind donations attending all events, and purchasing benefactor tables. The Bell family members are leaders in philanthropy and encourage others to follow their example. They are known for their belief in the community and for giving back to the community that's given them so much. I would like to invite Jonathan Rebello to come up and accept the award on behalf of the Bell family.
Yeah, I'll just say thank everybody for being here. This is an award that I would say would be shared with everybody in the community because we raise our money by people coming out to our golf tournaments. So sign up for that. This is the 33rd year. We did send out the invitation on Thursday last week, so we'd love to have you come out. It's a great organization. George Tevis was a very close friend of my mother's because my mother and his wife were best friends. So when he passed away, it was an easy thought for us to have this organization in the United Way because they're both great causes. So thank you very much.
Just gonna have a short picture. We're so glad that Jonathan could be here today, but many of you will probably know Jonathan's dad, Vinny Rebello, well. And if you're ever having a slightly down day, I can only recommend that you call Vinny's voice code, which always says, "Hello, it's Vinny, I hope you're having a fantastic day," which just characterizes the enthusiasm that they bring to every charitable and community activity that they do on behalf of all of us. So thank you for that. And Jonathan, please do pass along to your mom and dad how much we missed having them with us today.
I already sent them a picture on Twitter.
And at this point, I'll hand the podium over to Leanne Agostopoulos, our chair. Leanne.
Thanks, Lisa. It truly is my honor today to present the third Davies Award for 2013 to McKenna Mulder. McKenna is a truly amazing individual. I first had a chance to meet her last year, and when I walked away, I actually took the time to walk away because I was just so enamored with her. How she carried herself and what she did. I immediately went back to the office, the HDF office. I said, "Denise, I can't believe I had the opportunity to meet this person." So it truly is an honor to have met you and to be able to present this to you. She's agreed to also share her story with us, so I won't steal her thunder, but I will say that she's an amazing, selfless, determined, compassionate young lady who's incredibly deserving of the Davies Award for product leadership. She's inspired so many people to do more to help others. I would like now ask McKenna to come forward to accept the award and share her story.
Hello, my name is McKenna. I'd like to thank UHAF for inviting me to speak tonight, for everyone here for joining us. Cancer first touched my life when my aunt was diagnosed with cancer in 2008. She had smoked for months of her life. It started in her lungs and then spread to her brain. The doctor said that she would have about 6 months. She stopped smoking right away, and she lost most of her hair because she had radiation. She moved into our house close to us so we could look after her and see her as much as we wanted. It was a year after she was diagnosed that my nana was starting to get really sick. She could not talk or walk, and she had nurses come and look after her. 3 days after Christmas in 2009, a year and a half after she was diagnosed, she passed away. My mom came home crying, and I knew what had happened. My nana was gone. A lot of my nana's friends and family say that I remind them of her, and that makes me happy. It was 11 months after that I was diagnosed. I was having headaches before, but the doctor said it was dehydration or the stress from when my nana was dying. When I started waking up, really bad headaches, crying in pain, and vomiting, then my mom took me to the ER. They told us that it was migraines. Finally, after a visit to an after-hours clinic, the doctor told my family doctor to have me see a specialist. The family doctor made an appointment with the specialist, but he sent me to my eyes check first. My mom and I talked about this as a weekend we will never forget. It started on November 5th, 2010. We had an appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning with my eye doctor. That it was when they found swelling at the back of my eyes. She then sent us to Hotel Du, where I had some blood work done and I had ultrasound on my eyes. They then sent me to Kingston to have an MRI. It was around 3 that afternoon when I was having my MRI that they told my mom I had a brain tumor. When they told me, I couldn't believe it. My first thoughts were about my nana and how I did not want to die. I remember being really scared. By 4 o'clock Saturday morning, we were at St. Kitts Hospital in Toronto, driven by ambulance straight from KGH. Because of where my tumor was, it was stopping the flow of my spinal fluid, and that was giving me the headaches. It was like having a water balloon in your head getting bigger and bigger. After some MRIs and a CAT scan on Saturday, I was ready for surgery the next day. It was hard to believe that just 2 days ago, I was having a regular eye exam for some headaches, and now I was having brain surgery. To keep my spinal fluid flowing, I now have a shunt that runs from my head to my belly. The surgery took 2 to 3 hours, and when I got out, I couldn't move my head. It was really sore. But I had to start moving it from side to side or it would get worse. It got much better after a couple of days, and by the time I went home on Wednesday, I was almost back to normal. The week after, we were home and I went to KGH to meet with the cancer doctors there and talk about chemo and figure out when I would get reported. It was decided that I would be getting semi-weekly treatments to try to shrink my tumor. 2 weeks after I started my chemo, I had the surgery report to make getting chemo so much easier. It was during treatment that I met so many wonderful people, nurses, doctors, patients, and volunteers. And when I realized how hard it must have been for families I saw every week to deal with treatments and schedules much harder than mine. It was from this that McKenna Stream began and still continues. Thanks to the generous support from our community, McKenna Stream has raised over $130,000 to the Children's Cancer Fund of Kingston. So I have been blessed. The chemo, though it was awful, was in a small dose. So it was only very mild side effects, and I have only had my shunt replaced once, and had to stay in the hospital for an infection for a week. Most importantly, my tumor has not grown, which is great news, and I'll probably have to live with it for the rest of my life, but I can live with it. I am extremely honored to have been asked to share my cancer journey with you, and I'm very grateful to everyone we are celebrating tonight who have helped support all the programs at our Kingston hospitals. From our family and myself, I thank you.
Thank you, McKenna. And now everyone knows why I was so inspired by her the first time I met her. And all I can say to you is, I can't wait to see what else you're going to accomplish. Because at 13, if you did that, I can't imagine at 26 what you're going to do. So thank you again. I also like to thank everyone for attending the Discovery Center for the beautiful venue today. Desert Foods for the great food. I had a lot of them. They were good. The sponsor Lafarge. That was the designs for the flowers that are going to be handed out on the way out. And there's a lot of cupcakes that no one seems to touch, so we need to really put an effort in those cupcakes because it's not good for Krista. Those cupcakes aren't eating, so we really need some help there. I would also like to take this moment to share My thanks to Spencer Hope. Many of you will recall that Spencer spoke at last year's event and has been the public face of the foundation for the past year. What you don't know is that Spencer has worked closely with the staff of the foundation in bringing the voice of donors to the table as today's event was planned. I know that our staff are truly appreciative of your efforts. So Spencer, so please accept this deep gratitude. Thank you. I would also like to thank everyone for attending this event. We have housekeeping rules now. Please fill out the feedback form that you received on the way in, so that we can plan our future events for this feedback month. And again, enjoy the delicious cupcake, and they should be all gone soon. So thank you very much, and hope to see everyone again next week. Thank you.